is a strong word, and we all need honesty when it comes to plumbing and HVAC needs. Somebody who will take care of the repairs efficiently and with quality. Honest Plumbing and Air is who I trust, and they take pride in that word. Honest Plumbing and Air, where a handshake still means something. Just a couple of more sleeps until the 121st Aggies Longhorns rivalry renewing. Man, it is special. And it's the first one, if you have not heard, that will be played here in Austin, Texas since 2010. 15 years without the best rivalry in the state of Texas and arguably the best rivalry in the country. One thing that is special about this game, it really and truly divides a state, divides families, divides marriages, relationships, friendships for a day or two. And it is so hostile. The energy is electric. It even creates fights before a game.
Moments ago, it got ugly at midfield. This is something that sadly we've seen before in college football. It very nearly happened when Florida State played Miami.
Texas A&M won that game, I believe, 21-10, but I have to give it to Texas on the brawl. And we are 2 sleeps, 48 hours away. And in this episode of 497, I have 2 newer faces. One you may remember. Yes, the First Lady of the Man Cave is back, and a guy we call Coach. So, any opportunity you have a chance to discuss the Aggies and Longhorns playing tackle football, it's always good to talk about it. Tes Sawyer, Coach Scott Abernathy, Hargrove Roofing. Tes, I've got to get your thoughts. I was looking at you in the thumbnail there. I don't think you were too pleased to see or hear Saul Varsity's horns off.
No, I don't like that. Not one bit. And I'm so glad that we do not have to go to College Station on Friday. God bless America. We will be in DKR. Thank goodness.
Yep.
Without music being pumped in, by the way.
Oh my God. Hey, but that was a great atmosphere last year, and it was electric. I would anticipate it being electric here, but I am Sean Clinch, the host of Stories Inside the Man Cave, and Tes is coming back. Tes is back. We're about to launch our new series. It's no longer going to be called the former name. It's in the works. We want to keep a little bit of a surprise, but we want to give a shout out to a really special local company that she is a Texas alum, and this is it, Spirit Dress. And there's Tes on the left modeling some Mercer's clothing line.
Right.
That's not Tes on the right. It's mainly women's clothing, Spirit Dress, and Tes, you've got one of the shirts on. I think it's the same one in the photo.
Yes, I coordinated that. So, yeah, so this is my best friend that I grew up with, I went to high school with, I went to college with. Obviously, we both went to University of Texas, hence the burnt orange. And this is her company that she started on her own, and it's pretty successful. And if you go to any college games, not just UT, you will see ladies wearing her shirts, because she not only does University of Texas, she does all colors. So you don't have to be a UT fan to buy her shirts. So I highly recommend checking out her site and getting your game day on, because she has everything, dresses, shirts, everything.
Yeah, spiritdress.com. Visit it. We will soon have a promo code, and we're looking for a nice dress for Coach here. or shirt.
Yeah, he'll look good in burnt orange.
Something
So,
to cover up this region more so than anything.
Scott Abernathy, we're basically become brothers. He and the Hargroves we've become very close. They've been big supporters of this podcast as they have expanded into Texas from Louisiana. Coach runs the Austin office based off of Ashdale Drive in Austin, Texas. And he played football, college football at Louisiana Tech, coached high school football for a long time in the state of Louisiana, was a really highly respected coach there. I'll start with you, Coach. As we allude to this, we want everyone to follow us on each of our social media platforms. And if you subscribe to YouTube, it's great because it's free. Things are tough in our economy now, and free things are wonderful. We'll begin with you, Coach, being a Louisiana guy. The Aggies-Horns rivalry. How do you sum that up from an outsider's perspective? You're a Longhorns fan now. You went with me to the game last week.
Yeah, and Miss Tess had all of her beautiful ensemble on the other night. I thought that she was the queen of UT, the way that she was dressed. She and I'm sure her friend gave her a lot of those stuff. But I've enjoyed being a part of this UT community, and Hargrove Billy, who owns our company, played for me high school football years ago. And years ago, he was a UT fan, and that's why we're where we are today, and we're excited. But the rivalry is just one of the top rivalries in the nation. You look OU Michigan this week, and you look at LSU Alabama, and you look at all these different rivalries that we're excited about watching. This is one of the best. I went to this game years ago when I had a young lady that I was dating from A&M, and I went to that game. And then my son just went to an A&M game, and he said, "Coach, it's a lot different down there." And I said, "Yes, sir. But this is exciting. I mean, what more can you ask for? You got Texas playing at a higher level than they have in points during the year, and then everybody has not really said that A&M's as good as they are, and then you watch them and they're pretty darn good. So this is one of the best games of the weekend.
And you can hear it. You can tell that Coach Ab it was a former coach. The projection of the voice. Tes can project her voice too, and that's I've seen it. I've heard it as a fan. Tes, tell me what you anticipate for DKR. I've been telling people I think this may be the most electric DKR will be in maybe 2 decades. I mean, what do you anticipate?
Yeah, I mean, I think electric sums it up, and I think we have to be, because this is a huge game. Obviously, it's the history of this game being played, and for it finally coming back to fruition with Longhorns joining the SEC, and this is the first time the Aggies have been in DKR 15 years.
Yeah,
2010. Yeah. So that's a really long time, and I mean, obviously, us going to College Station last year, which was historic, being there, us taking the win, which was also wonderful. But I'm really excited for them to come to town. I hope they have a lot of fans in the stands. I mean, I think it will be primarily burnt orange, but I think there'll be a lot of people attending just because of, how close College Station is to Austin and how many college A&M fans live in Austin. So I think it's just going to be amazing. It's a night game, which we all know how night games are at DKR. The lights, the drone show, the music, Django Walker, all these things. So I think it's just going to be an absolute just cinema is what we're all saying. And I'm so glad I'm going to be there. I'm a season ticket holder, and I've been looking forward to this game the entire year. So can't wait.
I can't wait.
Let's just skip Thanksgiving and go to the football game.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just skip it. So I did a little research, and so Coach Tes and I grew up in Austin, and one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of, the Capital City A&M Former Students Association is the largest chapter that they have in the country. And growing up here, when the game was here before, A&M bolted for the SEC out of the Big 12, they had a parade that morning with the Corps Cadets and the band. The night before, they would have their midnight yell practice on the steps of the Capitol. Well, I did some research. It's happening. Tomorrow night, they will have, I guess it's Thanksgiving night. They're going to have the midnight yell practice again at the state capitol. And then Friday morning, have the parade. I may have my days back, but let's talk ball.
Who gives permission for that?
Yeah.
I mean, as a coach, I'd be like, no, sir, that ain't happening on the steps of the Capitol. I know it's Texas, but we're right by Austin, baby.
Yeah, that's what
we're right by UT. That ain't happening.
Dangerous.
We may have involved something with throwing eggs one year when I was in high school, but I'm not going to confirm or deny it. Let's talk ball. Let's give our flowers to A&M. 11-0. They beat Notre Dame on the road, but because not every SEC team plays each other. Next year they'll go to 9 games. If A&M loses, let's say they lose to Texas. It's kind of bizarre. They're number 3 in the CFP, and honestly, they could be 2 or 1, depending on whose perspective. But Coach Elko, the Aggies head coach in his second year, was asked, what happens? What happens if they were to lose?
It's going to force us to go 8-0 to get to Atlanta, and it is what it is. I think in another year, certainly last year, it wouldn't have taken the same.
So if they lose, and let's say Alabama wins and Ole Miss wins the Egg Bowl, A&M's out. But that could be a good thing for them, right? Because they don't have to play another week because they're in the CFP for sure. Tes, what's your thought? We'll go around the table top to bottom.
Yeah, they're going to the playoff. It doesn't matter if they lose to Texas. Right. I think that's clinched. No pun intended. So they're going to the CFP. I'll be here till Friday. They're going to the CFP no matter what. The best thing I think Texas could do right now is just, live another year in their head, right? So we can beat them. We can walk out of this season saying we beat all 3 of our rivals. OU, Arkansas, and A&M. That's
a good point.
That's good in my book, right? That's a successful season. However you slice it and dice this. But I think, if we beat A&M, we probably go to a better bowl game. But if Aggies lose to Texas, I think it's gonna knock them out of the SEC.
Championship.
And so, exactly. But that doesn't make a difference in the playoffs, so that's not going to count. And all you're going to do is just get your players dinged up a little bit more. And what really counts is the playoff. SEC championship is nice, but I'd rather not go and go to the playoff and go further. But that's my theory.
But Coach, your thoughts? The fact that I think you and I talked at a lunch and then with Stevie Lee. We thought there'd be 1 or 2 lost teams in the SEC championship, and A&M has to go undefeated.
Yeah, the whole deal with it is it's bragging rights right now. This game's irrelevant, as my 16-year-old would say. 6'7", 6'8", it doesn't matter. I'm going to choke a kid if I hear it again. But the bottom line is it doesn't really matter. What it is Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State won a national championship last year. They can't beat Michigan.
No.
And this is all about bragging rights. And the funny thing about these rivalry games, in my opinion, the fans, even at the high school level, they could care less. You could go 1-9 and beat the Aggies, or you could go whatever. Now after the fact, they go, yeah, we did that, but we didn't have. But in that moment, rivalry games are huge, and really everything's out the door. It just is. It's one of them deals that even if a team's not as good or one's better, but you got two quality teams here. But sometimes you have a really quality team and not a quality team, and the rivalries are more important.
That's a great point. And when you dig deeper, you mentioned, and this is something I'll just mention briefly. You mentioned Michigan, Ohio State, where Texas is right now in the CFP rankings. It's not good. It's not good to say they win. What if Michigan beats Ohio State? And there's other scenarios. My whole deal this entire season and last year is let every team play their schedule.
That's right.
Because college football does a wonderful job with the CFP being released. All it does is create a week-long conversation and viral tweets and heated people making an ass out of themselves on social media. But that's the beauty of it. So, Tes and Coach, it's funny how this season has gone for Texas. The defense just absolutely dominant in the month of September, even at Ohio State. They had a very weak schedule after Ohio State, and then they did a really good job against OU. But then all of a sudden the defense became a little porous. It's not great right now. But then you have a total role reversal. The offense is better, but the defense is struggling. So Ethan Burke, local guy, senior, he'll be part of senior day for the A&M game. He was asked about this, and he essentially said the decline of the Texas defense has nothing to do with who they're playing.
The problems aren't really them beating us, it's us doing it to ourselves a little bit, just communicating and making sure if we're all on the same page, we're great. And sometimes we just give them freebies, so just I think this week focus on communicating and dialing that in.
That's interesting. We'll start with you, Tes. And I remember before their freshman year when Ethan reported, we had a group photo, I think at the RBI, now at Bat Dinner, when they were young pups.
Yes. Oh, I love Ethan. I think he's a stellar player, and he's really fun to watch. Makes some really explosive plays. So, I mean, I hadn't seen that clip, so I'm wondering, if it is communication, is that an issue that we missed a game with Taft, and now we're missing some games with Anthony Hill. Taft came back, Hill went out. I wonder if there's some sort of, if that's what he's speaking to. But what I've noticed is, if it's a communication issue, then that's what we're seeing, because ever since, in Florida, there was a big breakdown. And then the second half of the Vanderbilt game, it was like we just, got really soft. And the amount of pressure they run up the middle on us has gotten just crazy with some of these games, and even with Arkansas, I mean, we tend to not be able to stop running backs very well. And if they have really good running backs, it's not good for Texas. And that's what actually, personally, I'm not as scared about the passing than I am about the running backs with Texas A&M. They have very good running backs. So, I don't know what's going on. I think it does seem, if it is communication, that seems very fixable to me. And hopefully that's been resolved in this last week. But I mean, you saw it against Georgia. Bad. And it's crazy because they're not looking like the defense that I saw play Ohio State, which seemed just tight and sharp and never missing a beat. But it's like we're just zoning out, or we're missing reads. I don't know what's going on, but something stinks in suburbia, and I hope they got to the bottom of it.
Coach, you and I love talking to Coach because he sees things from a very different perspective from being a coach. During last week's game, we were talking, and I just love listening to you. We were talking about a lot of the offensive linemen and the procedure of it, the penalties, whatnot. And that's a whole nother topic. But what did you see? What do you see with this defense? Do you agree with Ethan, or do you think it's complete opposite? What are you seeing?
It's business decisions. These kids are not tackling is want to. It's not like,
Boom.
I mean, you have great pass rushers or you have great back end defenders that are, you can be successful in a pass rush and you can be successful in defending a pass. But the bottom line is we saw a couple times when I see it because I see the whole field. When I was a younger coach, I only saw that position I was coaching, but I watched a lot of times these kids are coming in there and there's not a want. And that stars and money and NIL doesn't have nothing to do to getting that kid's butt on the damn field. You watch that kid from that's with the Eagles that everybody loves. That's Cooper Machine. Watch him tackle. You watch him tackle on Sunday night. Watch him tackle somebody. He don't miss tackles because he wants to tackle somebody.
Come on, Cooper DeJean.
Yes, sir. You watch him tackle the Cowboys the other night when he's in a one-on-one situation. It's a want to. It's not. It's business decisions. They come in. They want the big blow. They want to do this, or they want to tackle somebody up high. When somebody like Cooper DeJean, he's tackling at the thighs and he's putting them cats down. It's not the big money blow. It's not the X or Twitter or whatever the hell hit. It is putting somebody on the ground, and that's a want to, and that's what I'm missing. The other thing with UT is I've noticed that they're sending a pressure or something because they're not getting pressure with a 4-man front, so they have to add somebody to it, and then they're giving up a zone or they're giving up a person. And the other night, Arkansas, even though we played well, offensively and parts of the time defensively, there were a lot of times where somebody was wide open, like nobody on them. And that's because they're having to add another person to the pressure. And, the defensive line that we paid $5 million to get a pass rush is not happening. I mean, watch the Super Bowl last year. Mr. Mahomes is the best of the best, and they rushed 4 people and owned them the whole game. So, when you can't get pressure, you got to add somebody, which takes somebody off the back end. That's that's tough. And then when you can't add pressure, you add another one. You got to get to him fast enough to where they can't. So I know.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you mentally, you got to be bought in. And I will say they did put in one of the freshman DBs, I think, at corner, and I thought he did well. A lot of these
made a big tackle,
huge,
big tackle, like on like little quick route, and he came up and made a great tackle. But it goes back to, are you willing to buy into that it's not about anything else but getting that dude on the ground? It does not have to it doesn't have to look great. You just got to tackle people.
That's as simple as that. So we go from the defensive part that it's just amazes me how this season has evolved from all defense to now the offense is becoming maybe the stronger suit. But I think we all know that if Anthony Hill plays, you got Colin Simmons on the other end, and that D-line just plays at least average. And this may be the game that brings the switch back, but both staffs are going to try to win the chess match. The one key, and I think this is a very – Tes, you and I have talked about this. So I think you texted me the matchup. So Marcel Reed as a freshman had a decent freshman year last year, and Texas humbled them. And Manning had a really slow start to the season because of the O-line was not good. Now it's average to good. And if you put their stats, this is what's mind-blowing to me. I put up a post on the podcast TikTok. There is a debate, a lot of hatred spewed, saying that Manning put up big numbers against bullshit competition. And, well, what did A&M do? They played Samford, and their seven SEC games were bottom feeders.
Yep.
But I'm not in that
Some
debate.
top
I think
tens.
A&M's a good program. But if you look at their numbers, Reed and Manning, very similar. What's your take on this? I mean, because he's a Heisman candidate too.
Right. I mean, I also think you have to look at I think just like what you said, you have to look at who you're playing. Numbers against who or whom. So, I mean, there's that. And then also, I mean, I guess the difference between, I know they're going to say they're kind of going head to head, but I actually see them as very different players.
Very much. Very
different. And one thing I think that could benefit Texas on Friday night is that I feel like Reed is very we can rattle him. And if the defense does what they're supposed to do, won it, like Coach just said, and come in there and disrupt, I think we can eat Reed alive. But if we don't, he's gonna be able to pass and run because he can run the ball and he's a great quarterback. But that's the difference between I've seen Manning grow this year is we can pressure him, but he's slippery. He can slip around places and get around things. So I think it's going to be more difficult for the defense on A&M if our defense plays like they have in some other games and shows up. So I think that will be key. I mean, I think the strongest thing with A&M is not going to be Marcel Reed. I think it's probably going to be their running backs or the biggest challenge for us.
I agree with that. Coach, South Carolina put on tape how to get after Marcel Reed and A&M's offense that first half. But then the second half, that was a clinic by the Texas A&M offense. The Aggies they steamrolled those Cocks. They're the Gamecocks, by the way, if people are not sure what the mascot of is South Carolina. But what do you see in this guy, Marcel Reed? I think he's a good young quarterback. And tell the folks what you told me about Arch when we were leaving the stadium.
Well, yeah, I mean the whole thing with Arch. I mean, I thought he was going to be great. I saw him in high school, played competition against him from Louisiana and all that kind of stuff. He had all the tools that, obviously, from his lineage. But what I saw the first of the year was just simply, if you watch his mannerisms now, his head was always all over the place the first couple of weeks because he was worried about, he's worried about the pressure. You watch him, you break down. You and I saw 3 or 4 different plays where he just stepped up in the pocket. He moved around. He's an athlete too. This is a basketball, this was a basketball kid that was, this isn't, Peyton Manning. This is Archie Manning part 2. His dad was a wide receiver. This is an athletic kid. And I'm just super excited. I hope he doesn't go to the NFL. I hope he comes back and he really makes an effort. Now Reed, going back to Reed, they're in a beautiful spot. They have an amazing offensive line. They have it's basically going back to Arkansas Wildcat with a guy that can run. You're adding another running back into the backfield. So you can do all kinds of stuff. It's very similar to a very good version of Georgia Tech and Haynes King, a kid that's a running back, but Reed can throw it too. So you have all the counter game, all the athletic offensive linemen, you got all those running backs, and then you got him out the back door. It's a challenge. When you play a guy like that with running backs like that, you have to commit to the run and not be worried about the pass and make him beat you throwing the football. Because if you don't stop the run, he's going to, as one of my former coaches used to say, he's going to boat race you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a problem. And those running backs with him and the tight ends and the O-line, they got 5 or 6, 7 offensive linemen. They got wide receivers. I mean, they're loaded. But you can, like Tes said, I truly believe when you have a kid like him that is more of a athlete slasher kind of thing, his head and his mannerisms will start getting wobbly if you contain him, because he's going to want to run. Arch stepped up the other night and you watched him. I mean, there were 100 times the first 3 weeks of the season and his head was on the swivel. The other night it was just boom, 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 downfield, boom, 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 slide. I mean, it's he's going to be special. He's going to be special for, the rest of the year and hopefully years to come. And in the NFL, he's a good one.
I've never seen a quarterback in a long time make this much progression within a season, and that's what I love to see. And I have to say this though, that Arkansas offensive line is massive, and I think that's advantageous for Texas, the defense, having faced a big physical offensive line like that before they play A&M. But hey, again, I'll give the flowers to A&M. Their running game is legit. I think they've got a great scheme going on, and I love watching Marcel Reed. So
LSU still has flashbacks from last year with Reed starting his first game. I mean, they're taking anti-anxiety medicine from him running all over them last year. I can promise you that was impressive.
There's a little Vince Young in Marcel Reed. God, he's that good. But to test and coach your point, it's just you pressure him from the outside and then funnel him to the middle. I think that's what Texas defense is probably going to have.
As long as somebody's in the middle.
Yeah. Who's going to be in the middle?
Pressure, and he goes up.
Just roll out the red carpet, Texas.
That's right.
Yeah, here. Out to the end zone, 60 yards that way. Since it's Thanksgiving, me, my humor, it wouldn't be right if I didn't have my type of humor. Before I ask y'all what type of meat or protein you like, there's always that question: dark or white?
You prefer the dark meat as well?
I have always preferred dark meat, but if things don't work out this Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to switch and start going after the white meat exclusively. And I mean that sincerely.
By the way, if you want to chime in,
pour a little gravy on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you have to be able to work with it. You just got to, I think I can work with the white meat. I do.
That is horrible.
It was. So are we even going to go to white or dark meat, or just going to go straight to dishes?
I like a little bit of both.
Fried turkey. Hey, good job, Seth.
Yeah.
That was PC. Well done.
I keep my
Sawyer.
options open. So
Yeah. At the dinner table.
That's why I tan, Miss Tess.
all right, there you go.
6, 7. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Hey, I'm very vanilla. I do love a good green bean casserole. Criticize me, hate on me. There's a lot of green bean casserole haters out there, and I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the green bean casserole, but
It's okay.
my mom makes just for me every year. In fact, she already told me that she's already made them because she's got to make them ahead of time so they really marinate. She makes her southern green beans. This is just good old southern green beans, and it's my favorite thing. And I get in trouble for doing drive-bys at the pot and all kinds of things because I love these things. I don't know why they're so good. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite dish. So shout out to Mama Lori if you're listening.
Well, my mother is from the Midwest, so everything was on broil. And everything was, and you would think that I would be thinner based on my mother's cooking. I mean, we had stovetop stuffing and burnt rolls and really horrible green bean casserole and turkey that you would need to hydrate before you ate it. So I have kind of moved towards more of my in-laws food, going back, and it doesn't really matter. It's all good after being a child of stovetop and very dry turkey and pumpkin pie that was just horrific. So I don't really care. We fry turkeys now, and with the Cajun injection, they're all really good, but it's just more loving on each other and finding a time for a cocktail and watching some football.
A little hot toddy and some injection into some dark or white meat.
Correct.
That is, it's fantastic. And the key to happiness is a good, fine giblet gravy. Ooh.
My dad would put that cranberry. I was like, man, he always mixed foods too, like jelly, like Jello next to mashed, and I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not a food mixer either.
I'm a food separator.
Yeah.
Like
same.
maybe some corn into some mashed potatoes, but like if it shouldn't be next to one another. Like when I became an adult, I always bought those China plates that had the separators so that nothing touched.
Well, I don't like sweet with my meat. So
100%.
Don't put cranberry with meat. They don't go.
See, I disagree. On pork loin, it tastes good.
Oh no, I can't. Those people that eat jelly on meat,
no, I'm out.
No siree. Pineapple on pizza, nope.
Ripcord. Pineapple on pizza. That is disgusting.
No way.
Oh my God, that's the best conversation ever. But so we got to end it with a punch.
Okay.
We're going to do predictions. GigEm or HookEm and the score.
Oh, jeez.
Should I go first?
You go first.
Yes.
I was going to pick A&M, and then I just had this epiphany. I had a vision last night in my dreams, and I saw a defense contain their running game to 130 yards or less. I saw 2 interceptions. But in the end, I saw an offense actually win the time of possession for Texas. 29-27, HookEm.
Okay. Is it my turn or are you letting coach?
Go ahead, Miss Beth.
Okay. Yes, I feel it will also be a scoring offense pretty equally and be a close game. So I'm going to go with 34-31. Texas, HookEm.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things involved in a game like this as far as you deal with passion between two people. You're a holiday weekend and you're at home. You're at home. That's an advantage. You just played an amazing game. Was the talent as equal? It doesn't really matter. You feel pretty good about where you are. So, you're bringing a rivalry game. You're bringing back this Thanksgiving thought process. I think it is going to be a close game, and I think that there might be some points scored, but I think it's going to be a tit for tat kind of thing, and I think it's going to be close to what she said about a 35, 31, 30 kind of game, and I like the Horns. I really do. It's an opportunity to, it happens every year this time of year that somebody, has what they call an upset game. I don't really think this is an upset. I told you the other night, I said 9-3 beating A&M and playing the way they would. There's a chance. They have a chance to still get into this thing. And like Tes said, the other thing is, worst case scenario, you're in a better bowl game. You don't want to be at the Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise. That shit is not fun. I mean, you'll go so that you can get a T-shirt and a bad ring. But the bottom line is you would much rather be somewhere that they're going to take care of you in January. So
You definitely don't want them to fall down the range at 8-4 and end up in Houston at the Texas Bowl where they played 2 or 3 times. I will say the Texas Bowl gave us media gifts. Most bowls did.
they're good.
My favorite one was an Academy gift card for a
cool
decent number.
Now, we didn't get in 1990 when you played in the Shreveport. Now, there's been 400 and different names for the
Independence Bowl. Yeah.
It's been the Poland Weed Eater Bowl. It's been the, hell, I don't even know all the bowls. It's been, I don't even know what it is. Radiance Technology Bowl now. But the bottom line is we didn't have no gifts. We were lucky to play and get a meal. But now the expectations are for Xboxes and all kinds of, but the Texas Bowl is done. LSU's played there before and played, and they've gotten some really nice stuff.
Yeah.
And now the Nike and all that throws a bunch of money at the bowl games, and those kids end up with 10 sweatsuits when it's over with, and the coaches get a couple extra bucks. It's a good time, but I wouldn't want to go anywhere that's cold.
No. Let's stay away from that. I don't want to end up at the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium or Hey, the good thing, Tess and I made this. We went to the Alamo Bowl one year, but thank goodness the Alamo Bowl does not have a tie-in to the SEC, so there will not be a trip to the Alamo Bowl. It may be worse to Houston if Texas loses this game.
Well, yeah, I'm Alamo bowled out, so I'll go to. I'm cool with that. I feel like we've been exiled to the Alamo Bowl too many times, so.
I'll tell you, with a win, the Peach Bowl has some teeth to it, and that's a heck of a bowl in Atlanta. That's a fun event, and that arena's awesome, and
Atlanta's a cool spot too.
Keep up with there's a gazillion of them now, so I can't keep up with them and what goes to what. But
I think if Texas loses to A&M, they're going to end up in Tampa or Orlando, one of those bowl games. But I'm not saying Texas deserves to be in the CFP with 3 losses, but there is that chance. And everything, this is the beauty of college football. Everything could fall into place. You've got to play all the games, and we still won't know until after next weekend when the conference championship games, after they're done. Right. So who knows? A week from Sunday, Texas may be in the CFP, but first things first, you got to beat those Aggies in Austin.
Got to.
Yes, man, I'm excited to have you back. We're about to have our regular show back on the rotation. Coach, much love. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, brother.
Thank y'all so much. I enjoy it. I love talking ball no matter what it is.
You like talking shit too.
Hey, I have a face for radio, so maybe we need a radio show instead of this podcast.
Yeah. Tess, much love. Happy Thanksgiving.
Much love. Happy Thanksgiving, Sean and Coach.
Oh, my goodness. And thank you to Honest Plumbing and Air, where a handshake still means something, and Hargrove Roofing. How do you say it? Stevie does it best. How do you do it, Coach? The slogan.
Know who's on your roof.
Give Coach a shout.
It's me.
Stevie Lee gets really, really loud and looks with intention when he's know who's on your roof. Yeah.
Well,
hey,
I got in trouble for talking to my son this morning because I was too loud. So I'm loud just talking normal. So if I start screaming, y'all won't be able to. Y'all have to put earplugs in.
That's real nice, Clark. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I hope you get a food coma, both of you, tomorrow. And for Tess and Coach Ab and for everybody out there, happy Thanksgiving. And just in case you were not aware, just in case, whenever you get a chance to talk about the Aggies, the Longhorns, great college football rivalries, you know what? It's always good to talk about it.